Hi, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Thea, and today is April 27, 2021. We're going to get started in the ordinary fashion, just lying on your back, your knees bent, feet on the floor, and just watching your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. I love my body loves me. Feel the floor coming up to meet you and support you. And take 2 more breaths. And get ready for vagus nerve reset. Your hands can go behind your head. And then, without moving anything else but your eyeballs, and with your eyes open or closed, just shift your eyeballs to the right. And watch for an involuntary sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center. Shift your eyeballs to the left. And wait for an involuntary sigh, yawn, swallow, or gulp. Come back to center. Repeat this 2 more times, 2 more sets. Right, left, without my cueing. And come on back, finish up. You can keep your hands there if you want. You can put some therapy balls underneath your occipital ridge, the back of the skull, base of the back of the skull. We're going to go do head ramping. You could also do this on a sponge ball. Now what you're going to do is just press the back of the base of the skull, the occipital ridge, it's called, into the floor or into your balls or your hands. Press, the chin drops, the head, the back of the skull slides away from the shoulders. And then you stay there for a couple breaths. And release. Repeat 5 times. The same thing 5 times. You may get more yawning. Last one. Now we're going to do our breathing practice. What I'd like you to do is do a side lying breathing practice. So you're going to roll onto your side, stack your hips. You can bend your knees if you'd like, or keep your legs straight. Your head is going to rest on a brick, or probably a brick is best, maybe a sponge ball. Whatever, find a side lying position and then choose a breathing pattern to practice. And we'll do it on both sides, obviously. This is actually a really good way to open up your lungs. So you could choose extended exhale, Viloma breath, rib cage breathing. You can just do an ordinary breath. But I want you to think about breathing into the bottom lobe, the bottom lobe of the top lung. There are three lobes. It's hard to get to the bottom lobe. But when you're lying on your side, it might be easier. Then foot to the other side and do some breathing on that side. Seeing if you can breathe deeply into the lungs. I've been reading articles recently saying that breath, work, and exercise both impact on COVID, on the likelihood that you'll get COVID or the unlikelihood, actually. I guess that's not surprising. What's surprising is that the CDC and the WHO are not suggesting exercise and breath. Go ahead and finish up, find your way onto your back for, we're going to do the hypopressives. We're going to do the bridge pose. So lying on your back. You might have some washcloths under your head. And then come up and we'll do a bridge pose. We're going to do a bridge pose later with therapy balls for shoulder work because we're focusing on shoulders today. But you're lying on your back. When you're doing hypopressives and pelvic floor work, you want to dorsiflex your ankles. So the heels are on the floor, the toes are up toward the ceiling. Kathy's going to demonstrate this before we do it, but after the 3 breaths, you're going to hold your breath out. And when you do that, you lift your hips into a bridge and bring your arms overhead. And then stay there while you're counting, while I'm counting. And then on an inhale, drop your hips. And then on an exhale, drop your arms. We're going to do this 3 times, three sets. Are you cramping, Kathy?
Yeah, my hamstrings are a little bit.
Right. Maybe bring your legs out a little, your heels out a little farther. So maybe does that help?
That might help, yes.
So here you are. I'm here too. And just make sure you have enough room overhead to bring your arms overhead. Take 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And one more. Exhale. Now hold your breath out. No breath. Lift your hips. Bring your arms overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay as long as you can. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale, drop your hips. Exhale, bring your arms back. And just rest for a bit. And then we'll start again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale all the way out. No breath. Lift your hips. 1, 2, arms overhead. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale, hip come down. Exhale, the arms come down. And your feet can come down to the floor. You can actually tap your feet. You're like, tap your feet on the floor. Toes, bring your toes, slap your toes on the floor for a little bit if you want. If it doesn't cramp your ankles, which I just started to do with mine. We're going to do one more of these. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. No breath. Hips up, arms overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale, drop your hips, exhale, bring your arms down. Very nice. We're going to work on shoulders today. The first thing we're going to do is grab your therapy balls. They can be either alpha or plus or original if you have them, although that might be feel extreme. And we're going to put them at the upper trapezius. So maybe Kathy, can you sit up? But nobody else has to sit up, and the exercise is going to be back down on the floor. Sit up and turn around so we can see your back. Take the balls out of the bag and place them. There are 2 points along the upper trapezius. So the upper trapezius is just across the top of your shoulders. It runs down your neck and across. So you're going to find a way to trap it's about there. There's one there and then a little closer in. So a little closer in and then a little farther out. And you're going to try to have them at the top of your shoulder, and you're going to trap them in between the floor and your shoulders, and come up into a bridge, which if that's too much, stay on the floor because it might be a lot too much for some people. So lie on the floor. So another bridge, right? Start with your balls close, just on the outer edge of the spine, and trapped by your shoulders. And then go ahead and lift your hips. If you can, if you dare, if you can, lift your hips up. You may want to, I like to put my hands underneath my head, create a sling with my hands, but you could also have your head on the floor. So lifting up. And actually now I'm taking my arms away, no sling, because I want to lift my hips as high as I can get them. And then come on down and see if you can, we're going to do this 3 times, all at the same location. So 2 more times. Just, you can have your hands anywhere. You can have them under your head. You can have them by your hips. You can have them over your overhead. Lift your hips. See if you can release some of the tension that we almost all of us hold. Probably, if you didn't hold this tension, you probably might not even be in my class, because you would find another teacher, because the work I do often focuses on this kind of tension. And stay as long as you can and breathing. And maybe you could even move a little bit up and down and side to side if you want or not. If this is too much, you can either come back down, or you could put a washcloth over your balls to make a little bit of a cushion. Come on down. Do it again. This is with the balls fairly close together at the top of your shoulders, or as far as close to the top as you can get, and still trap the balls with your shoulders and your upper back. Lift your hips. Stay here, breathe. Maybe wiggle a little bit, side to side. If it's too much, just lower your hips a little bit and see what you can find that's noteworthy but not excruciatingly painful. And then go ahead and drop your hips. This time the balls are going to be out a little bit, about an inch out, an inch further out than you had them. We're going to do 3 of these. And this may be, you may feel this more or less. Just depends on where you're holding stress in your shoulders. Find the ball placement and lift your hips. If you can't keep your hips up, you may want to just slide a yoga block underneath your hips. And that will do almost the same thing and allow you to stay. Come on down. If you have a brick underneath, just pull the brick away. Come on down. We're going to do 2 more. Remember, when you're up there, if you want to, you can kind of lean to one side and the other, or the other. So you're moving the ball over the ball a little bit. Up you go. Remember, you can put a brick under your hips if you'd like. You may want to drop one shoulder and then drop the other shoulder, so you're doing a little bit more side to side movement. If you could bring your hips up a little higher, you'll feel more. You'll feel more body weight. And then finally, just lift your hips up again and remove the block if you have one, and come on down. Now, we've done just 1 at the next level, right, Kathy? 2. Okay, we have 1 more to go. Remember, you're out a little farther this time. Still probably finding tension or stress, tightness in this area. Go ahead and lift your hips. You can put a brick block underneath your hips if you'd like. You can roll a little bit to the left and into the ball and then the right. I'm actually moving my hips from side to side, a pelvic rotation, dropping the right pelvis to the floor, and that actually moves the body weight of the shoulders over the ball. Okay, go ahead and remove the block. If you're using a block, remove the balls and just lie on the floor. Continue to lie on the floor. And we're going to do the supine shoulder range of movement. This is similar to something we're going to do seated in a minute. But just bend your right elbow and place it underneath your body at the buttocks or as high up as you can get it and as far in as you can get it. So as high up. And then once you found that location, drop your knees, both knees, drop them to the right. You should feel some work in the right shoulder. And holding for 10 seconds. Coming back. Going back out again for 10 more seconds. I'll time it this time. 10 seconds. I may put this up to 20. It's so short of time. Come on back. The knees come back. Now, come on back. We'll do it for 20. Drop the knees to the right. You may want to adjust the placement of your hand. Hopefully you'll feel a stretch in the outside of the shoulder of the deltoid. Come on back. Last one. The knees drop out to the side. Okay, come on back. Switch arms. So this time, take your right arm out from underneath the back, your back, and then take your left arm underneath the back. Bring it as high up as you can get it from away from the buttocks. It may be you'll be at the buttocks. Left hand underneath the back somewhere. Drop your knees out to the left. We'll be here for 20 seconds. Play with it. Play with the location of your knees. You should be feeling some work in the left shoulder. And come on back. Number 2, drop it out again. This is going to improve your range of motion in the shoulder. Come on back. How many was that, Kathy? 3?
2.
Let's go for number 3. Drop your knees out to the left. If you're not feeling this, change the placement of your left arm underneath your back. On back. And out again, 4. This is a nice stretch, by the way, for the hips as well, which makes it more of a whole body pose. Come on back, knees come back, arm stays where it is, or you can adjust it a little bit. And then this is the last one. Come on out, knees go out. And that's enough of that. Bring your left arm out from underneath your back. We're going to work on the deltoid. You can wiggle your arms and legs if you want, but we're going to stay here in a supine fashion and do a deltoid stretch. And this time you're going to bend your elbow, your right elbow, place your right hand on your left shoulder, and then use your left hand to pull your elbow across your chest. And if you don't get any workout from this stretch, then straighten your arm and then bring your straight arm into your chest. 20 seconds. breathing. Let's do 2 more of these. Staying on this side, bend your elbow, pull your elbow, right elbow towards the left side of your body. Hold the stretch for 20 seconds. And come on back. And the last one. And just pulling and stretching. And switch sides. Bend your left elbow, hold on to your right shoulder with your left hand, and pull your elbow across your chest. Remember, if this doesn't feel like it's doing anything for you at all, then you can straighten your arm and see if that is better for you. They do slightly different things, but close enough. Okay, come on back and do it again. And stop, come back. And then last one, number 3. Notice you can do these before you get out of bed in the morning. You could have a pre-breakfast, post-sleep, bed practice. And come on out of that. Come on up to floor seated. And find a comfortable floor seated position. We're going to work on lower mid traps. We did this in the last class, actually, and you probably remember it anyway. We're just going to depress your right scapula. So bring it down towards the floor and then bring it a little bit inward towards the opposite hip pocket. And stay here. We're going to hold for 20 seconds. Time for 20 seconds. Strengthening the lower traps, which really need it for most people. Come on back, release that. Let's go to the opposite side now, the opposite scapula. The left scapula depresses, goes down, and then towards the opposite hip pocket. You're going to stay here, hold that, stretch and strengthen position. You should feel this. You should notice this while you're waiting for the stretch, and this it was actually a strengthening position too. And come on back. Just do it. Come on back slowly so that maybe you can make a few, wiggle your shoulders a little bit, and then start the other side, because this is a pretty intense exercise, actually. So go ahead and right scapula, drop it down. It's a squeeze, really, and then dropping towards the spine and over towards the opposite hip pocket. And wiggle and stretch and go to the other side, other scapula. Your scapula is loving you. Your scapulae actually are loving you for this. Left scapula, depress, drop it down, and then a little bit towards the opposite hip pocket. Hold for 20 seconds. Keep breathing. And come on out of that. Release it. Wiggle a little bit, and we'll do one more set. Starting on the right, depress the right scapula, and then move it a little bit, the bottom of it, the tip of the scapula, move it a little bit towards the opposite hip pocket. Stay here, breathing, good posture. And come on back. And other side, this is the last side of the last set. Drop your scapula, move it a little bit, the tip of the scapula a little bit towards the hip, opposite hip pocket. Breathe. And come on back. Okay. We're also going to do the shoulder back rub with a strap. So find your strap. I have to follow directions on this one because I got it backwards. Tell me if I'm backwards in my instructions, Kathy, because I might be, just because of the way I cut and paste instructions. So you're going to place the strap over your left shoulder. Bring your left arm behind. Do you think it's left arm behind and under? Low? Is the left low? The right. Let me see.
Right behind.
Okay, right.
Left arm in front.
Okay. So place the strap over your left shoulder. Bring the right arm behind your back and grab the lower part of the strap. Bring your left arm up to grab the upper part of the strap behind your neck. And then you pull, you're going to pull on the strap. One with one hand and then the other, going up and down as if you were rubbing your back with a towel. You crawl your arms towards each other, your hands towards each other on the strap. If it's too much to be pulling and rubbing, just stay there. And I'm going to actually do a 20-minute hold here. Just stay there and hold. Otherwise, rub it's a back rub, like you're rubbing with a towel. It could be small, it could be nothing. Well, there will be something happening because you've already brought your hands towards each other on the strap. And stop that, and let's switch to the other side. The strap is on the right side. And this time, bring your left arm behind your back to grab the strap and your right arm over behind your neck, high, and then bring your hands as close as you can get on the strap to each other on the strap. And then if you want to, you can pull the strap up and down. You can just be passively creating tension on the strap with your hands, either one. And then come on out of that. We're going to do a cervical side bend. So you might want to switch your legs, especially if you haven't already switched the crossing legs. And the first thing you're going to do is drop your right ear to your right shoulder. And just stay there. Remember that you're trying to have good posture in all these floor seated positions. Oops. Go ahead and stay there and drop your chin so that you're creating another kind of a stretch. The chin drops towards your chest. Now bring the chin up first and then bring your cervical spine up and go to the other side. Left ear, left shoulder. Stretching along the cervical spine. Go ahead and drop your chin towards your chest for another stretch, a different stretch. Still a cervical side bend. Bring your chin up first and then your entire cervical spine up. We're going to do this time with resistance. So drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Put your right hand on your left ear. Press the left side of your head into the hand. And just stay here until the timer goes off, actually. And then we'll drop the chin at that point. Just press this as a whole different stretch. Just one little shift. Go ahead and drop your, take the pressure off first, and then drop your chin, and then put your hand back on the side of on your ear. And find that other stretch. Take your pressure, take the hand off your ear, bring your chin up, and then bring your head up. Other side, left ear, left shoulder. Take your left hand on your right ear, press up into the hand with the right side of your face. And just breathing and stretching. And now release the pressure of the hand and then drop your chin forward and put your hand back on your ear. Create resistance there and continue to stretch and resist. Keep the chin down towards the chest. And then go ahead and release your hand that's on the ear. Bring your chin back up and bring your neck back up. Let me see how we're doing on time here. Okay, let's do the SCM massage here. You may want to change your legs again, crisscross. This time you're going to look. Let's see, we're going to start with the right sternocleidomastoid, which is this very large muscle that runs along the side of your neck from the jaw all the way down into your collarbone, actually. And, so in order to find that and massage it, which is what we're going to do, is you're going to look left. And then it pops out, and then you're going to hold on to it, starting as far down at the bottom as you can get. And you may want to bring your face a little bit farther forward to allow you to pull on that muscle, massage it all the way up from the very bottom down near your sternum and the clavicle up. Just pull and pull. You're also releasing some scalene muscles that are kind of behind this sternocleidomastoid, all the way up as far as you can get, all the way to your ear. And then come down also. Come down. If you, there's a nerve in there too. It'll tell you, you won't want to be pressing on the nerve. But go down as far as you can, because there's a place way down at the bottom that's actually holds a lot of tension. In fact, once you get down to the bottom, release the grip on that muscle, but at the bottom of the sternocleidomastoid, put your hands, make a little crook with your fingers and press into the upper chest, and press and see if you can feel a release that happens there. There's a lot of tension there. And just breathe. And let it go. Look to the right. So look right so that you can grab your sternocleidomastoid on the left. And then remember, you may want to bring your head back a little, just because now you want to massage this whole muscle, starting all the way down at the sternum and the clavicle. And you're just going to grab and pull and grab and pull and keep climbing up. Keep climbing up. This is an area that gets very tight and we often neglect it. This is, you could call my class a class for neglected muscles and ligaments. All the way up to the ear. When you get to the top, if you feel a little something a little tighter there, just play with it a little bit and see if you can get it to release. All the way up to the top, to the ear, and then all the way back down. Pulling, tugging and pulling, massaging both the SCM and also the scalenes, which are back behind the SCM. All the way down as far as you can go. Back down to the edge of the top of the edge of the clavicle. And then when you're ready, go ahead and make a claw with your left hand and just dig into the clavicle at the sternocleidomastoid and see if you can find a little bit of tightness that needs to be released. And let go of that. You may want to move your head from left to right, see what kind of work you did. Maybe you'll feel a lot more space in the shoulders. Come up to the wall for the last triplet. We're going to do a shoulder block. We have done this on the wall before. I think maybe only once though. So you're going to start with your right shoulder at the wall. And your right arm's out in front of you, parallel to the wall, palm on the wall.
Oops, I'm kicking things. Hold on.
Right next to the wall, really shoulder on the wall, and then bring your arm out in front of you and the parallel to the floor and with the palm on the wall. Parallel to the floor, good. Now, crawl like if this is a clock. You're going to crawl up, up the wall, and then behind you and bring your arm, keep your arm on the wall, keep your fingers crawling. Actually, you may have to come away from the wall a little bit when you bring your arm up behind you. Because you're like, I couldn't do with my range of motion here. I'd have to step away from the wall a little bit, but you want to bring your arms back so the right arm is now parallel to the floor behind you, if you can. That's the clock. And then now, come on back. Crawl back. And all the way forward till it's parallel to the floor. And do the same thing on the left and the other side. And so starting with your arm out in front of you, palm toward the wall, and then just crawling your arm up by your ear. And then behind you, you may have to come a little bit farther away from the wall to get your arm behind you. When it's parallel, then you start crawling back. Shoulder clock at the wall. And when you're done, stand with your back to the wall and do a more familiar back bend chest opener at the wall. And we're going to time this for 40 seconds because it's a bone building pose. Come on back. Unravel yourself. We're going to do spinal rotation or spine twist at the wall, starting with the right shoulder at the wall, right foot forward, left foot back, bend your elbows, and rotate your spine to the right. And just stay here and breathe. Slowly unravel yourself. Go to the other side, left shoulder at the wall, left leg forward, right leg back, bend your elbows, spinal rotation to the left. Stand tall. Okay, unravel slowly. Find your way onto the floor for Yoga Nidra 61-point guided meditation. You may want to put a stack of towels underneath your head. You may want to put a stack of washcloths, one washcloth over your eyes. You may want to put your feet up, bent knees on a chair or a sofa. You want to be warm and comfortable and safe. Feel warm, comfortable, and safe. Let's start by bringing your attention to your breath. Breathing in and out. and watching your abdomen as it rises and falls. And now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes your 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and extend your legs along the mat and bring your arms overhead and try to wiggle and stretch and create a little space between your pelvis, a little more space between your pelvis and your rib cage. Wiggle and stretch left and right. Wiggle and stretch. And now wiggle your toes and your fingers. And then rotate circle your ankles and your wrists. One direction and then the other. And then hug your right knee to your chest, slowing down. Hug your left knee to your chest. Now hug both knees to your chest and rock your knees from side to side. See if you can feel the release in the lumbar as you rock. And then whenever you're ready, go to one side or the other, all the way over. Bottom arm as a pillow, left hand, palm on the floor. Press yourself up to seated. Unmute yourself. Sit in some sort of a floor-seated position, comfortable. Bring your hands to your heart. Press your palms together very strongly. See if you can find and express gratitude for some of the work we already did in the shoulders and the neck. Sit tall. And then soften the prayer pose. Come out of that. And just lift your skull up away from the shoulders and nod it over the cervical, top of the cervical spine. Bowing and bowing. And noticing, acknowledging, and honoring the light in each of us. And then knowing that we're all one light. We're going to close the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
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 Thank you.